Hello all, it's your girl Tiffany, Madam Luscious Black Beauty, your poetic psychic Pisces, High Priestess, aka Diamond. I do hope everyone is doing well and feeling well on today. We are gathered here today for another one of my missing mysteries. And tonight's missing mystery is going to be for Tuders. Tabitha Tuders. Tabitha lived in Nashville, Tennessee. And she went missing April 29th of 2003 from Nashville. So we are going to be doing, I'm going to be doing for you all a missing mystery segment about her. This situation, just all of these situations really and truly just really kind of upset me, but this one particularly did because the cops in Nashville totally botched this case. Like, I literally feel like if they would have tried harder, it was possible for them to find the person responsible for this. They actually got information and got leads and things about the situation that they just kind of ignored, which just kind of pissed me off. Which I asked about in the reading. Nevertheless, before I jump into all of that, of course, I'm going to give you all some brief information pertaining to Tabitha, as well as the situation and the backstory of everything, and then we're going to get into the reading itself. Okay, so Tabitha Tuders is a white female, blonde hair, blue eyes. I've never seen someone's height and weight fluctuate. It was like literally somebody just took a wild guess on most things about her. Like, nobody knew specifically like what she was, and you would think, like, you know, when talking to the parents, they would know exactly, but like on her weight, what I found is that she was anywhere from 4'9" to 5'9". So, oh, I'm sorry, 4'9" to 5'1". Okay, so, you know, I don't know how they like didn't know exactly, but they claimed that she was somewhere in between 4'9" to 5'1". When it came to her weight, they say she was anywhere from 90 pounds to 100 pounds. At the time of her disappearance. She was 13 years old at the time, and she was in the 9th grade. I could not find any viable information with her date of birth, so I just had to kind of leave that blank. I'm not really sure of her date of birth. Y'all know how this light do or whatever. It's like the enemy, they don't like the light, okay? So, you know, when the light is shining and I'm coming through and I'm trying to, I'm sending you all peace, love, and light. You know, you hear me say that all the time. The enemy constantly mess with my tripod. I kid you not. It does not happen until I'm getting ready to record, and all of a sudden, the enemy is making my light go out. So, whatever. We're going to let that sit for a minute, so I hope you all can still see everything clearly. Like I said, Tabitha went missing from her bus stop, allegedly, on April 29, 2003. She was last seen by her father the morning of April 29, 2003, before he left for work. She was also claimed to be seen by a neighbor, an elderly neighbor, on April 29th. Like I said, she was also claimed to be seen by a neighbor walking on her way to her bus stop. Considering the fact that her mom and her dad had already left for work, Nobody was able to tell the police what she was wearing. Nobody knew what she was wearing when she left the house that day, supposedly on her way to school, because she got up and got dressed and got ready after her parents had took off and went to work. And although her sister and like her nieces and nephews were in the house, they were supposedly asleep, so they didn't see her when she left. Nobody was able to tell anybody what Tabitha left home in that day, what she wore to school. Okay, so I had to leave that information blank as well because nobody knows what she had on that day. Nevertheless, when we get to the situation at hand, the backstory of the situation, it goes as follows. Around 6 a.m., Deborah Tuders, which is the mother, woke up to get ready for work. Noticing that her daughter had a pallet on the floor at the foot of her bed, her daughter Tabitha was asleep at the foot of her bed, like I said, in the parents' room for whatever reason. Like, this girl was 13 years old, but she would still sleep in her parents' room at the foot of their bed sometimes, allegedly. Deborah left for work, and a short time later, Deborah left for work a short time later after she got up, noticed her daughter at the foot of the bed. She just proceeded to get ready. She went on and left the house for work. Not long after that, Bo Tuders, which is the father, woke up around 6:45 to 7 a.m., somewhere around 6:45. He got up to get ready for work as well. He got himself together, but before he left out, he woke up Tabitha and told her to get up and get ready for school. So the dad proceeded to leave out for work. Tabitha got up, she got dressed for school, and allegedly she left the house around somewhere in between 7:15 and 7:30. That's what I was able to find. And that's like overall the information about her situation. She left the house. She started to proceed to walk towards her bus stop as she normally would do. And although no one actually seen Tabitha leave the house, her older sister Jamie and Jamie's children were at home that day, but they were supposedly still sleeping. However, there was an elderly neighbor who claimed to have seen Tabitha walking toward her bus stop. As she was like reading, he said she was like reading or looking at some kind of piece of paper, or her phone or something of some kind, as she was walking towards her bus stop. Yet no one actually know if Tabitha actually made it to her bus stop, seeing as she did not get on the bus and she did not make it to school that day. Okay. So Tabitha, from that point on, that's like literally all of the information, guys. Tabitha has never been seen or heard from again. And after police were informed of the situation, so basically the way it went is the mother got off of work. She said Tabitha usually make it home about 4 o'clock because Tabitha was in middle school. Her mother actually taught elementary school, so the elementary schools let out a little bit earlier than the middle school, so the mother was able to get off work and get home in time for Tabitha to get home from school. However, she claimed to have waited around. Tabitha never came home. She drove down to her bus stop and waited on her, thinking maybe the bus was late. The bus never came. She kind of drove around the neighborhood. Then she proceeded to go up to the school. Nobody was at the school. Nobody was answering the doors. She went back home, I believe. By this time, the father was at home, and they proceeded to go back up to the school together. They got to banging on the doors, and a janitor noticed them, and so they were able to get in the school, and they seen, a teacher or somebody that was in the school who made them aware that Tabitha never even made it to school that day. She hadn't been at school all that day. So, of course, very upset, very concerned. Deborah and Bo Tuders, they then go to the police department. They then file a police report stating that Tabitha was missing. Um, and from there, the police proceeded their investigation. There was not an Amber Alert that was put out for Tabitha, because usually with an Amber Alert, you have to have like direct information, like this person was wearing this, that, and the other, and she was seen being taken by this individual in this type of car, and they went towards this way. You have to have direct information for them to issue an Amber Alert to know exactly what they're looking for. In this case, they did not issue an Amber Alert. The police officers or detectives that was assigned to the case, after a while they like did some checking like around the neighborhood or with neighbors. They brought the dogs out and different things like that to try to track her scent. But they really didn't take this very seriously. For a very long time, they made it seem like Tabitha was just some kind of runaway. She left home on her own, and they really didn't put forth much effort to actually try to find Tabitha. But Tabitha was a homebody. She, wasn't just, wild and out of control like that. There was no reason for her to run away from home or anything like that. There was nothing happening and nothing going on that she would want to leave home. But like after the police were informed, rounds were supposedly made around the neighborhood. Several people were questioned. At some point, they spoke to this young boy who lived in the neighborhood. I'm not sure exactly how old he was, but I'm just saying he was a young boy. He later confirmed to the police that he seen Tabitha that morning walking to her bus stop. He also seen a red car pull up and stop to talk to her. He said that the person that was in the car was a black individual. And he also stated that Tabitha got into this car and the vehicle drove away. Now, this is very suspicious indeed, because when they took the cadaver dogs out to track her scent, they literally went down that same stretch of road, and the dogs like tracked her scent to a specific spot in the road, and the dogs just they stopped and they circled around in that area. And it was the exact area that this boy claimed that a car pulled up to her, stopped to talk to her, and she got in the vehicle. Nevertheless, for whatever reason, the police claimed that this boy was not a reliable, credible witness for some reason. I'm not sure if this boy was maybe like, kind of delinquent, like if he had trouble with his behavior or something in the past. Did he take medication? For some reason, they didn't find him reliable or credible. And so they just totally dismissed, what he's telling them that he's seen concerning this girl. They did not even look into it at all, which is highly appalling. And they literally kept pushing on the family, oh, she's a runaway, oh, she ran away on her own. But even still, even if she was a runaway, does that mean you don't put forth effort to even try to find her? What the hell? I can see if she was in her 20s or something and just took off and left home. Maybe she did leave on her own. You understand? But at her age, somebody with no job, no money, no nothing, it does happen. You have runaways all the freaking time who run away and different things like that. But Tabitha really wasn't that type of girl. She was kind of quiet. She in reserve. She was a very sweet girl, but she was a homebody, and so she liked spending time at home. She liked spending time with her family, with neighbors she would go and visit and different things like that. Nothing was going on where she would get up one day and say, you know what, I'm gonna run away. And she even had some money that she left at home. It wasn't much, but if you're gonna run away, you're gonna take all the things that you need with you to run away. Like if you got some money, a phone, or whatever. She didn't take her money or anything, so it was really kind of crazy. So like I said, the police actually literally ignored the valuable information that was given to them. They kept pushing off on the family and everyone that Tabitha was a runaway. But even with them stating that she was a runaway, they did not put any forth. They didn't put forth any effort to actually find her at all. And I told you all about the dogs. So even the dogs picking up on her scent in that area, they still should have been able to know at the point where the dogs had stopped, something went on there, because where they stopped at was not even at her bus stop. Like, something went on there. And they was able to trace her scent to that point. Nevertheless, the case was totally botched. I feel like the case was totally botched. These police officers, these detectives, they did not do their job. You know, they kind of shelved this. It became a cold case, and Tabitha has never been seen or heard from ever again. And I really feel like, I'm frustrated by this, because I really feel like Nashville police in the area that they lived in, there was no effort that was actually put forth to find Tabitha. I believe at some point in time, the original officers or detectives that was on the case, they, were removed from the case, or whatever, and there was a new detective that came in and, put fresh eyes on it, and that individual was the one who actually opened back up Tabitha's case and said, we're not looking at this as a runaway anymore. We're actually looking at this as she was abducted, she was kidnapped. But this was like sometime later. But still, even with them doing that, they haven't, it had been so long, like they really had nothing solid to go on to find this young lady. So this is where we are today. I did do a spirit reading for Tabitha Tuders. And once I get to the nitty gritty part of it, you're going to see why I'm pissed off at the police down there, why I'm pissed off about this situation, because there was valuable information that they ignored that was very valuable. Okay. Nevertheless, like I said, I did this reading for Tabitha, and it goes as follows. I asked my spirit guides, did Tabitha, and before I start, I'm sorry, I briefly told you all how I do these readings. Once I get ready to do my readings, I find a calm, quiet spot. I pray, I meditate, I call upon the Most High and my spirit guides to give me clear and accurate information in reference to whomever the victim is that I'm doing the reading for. In this case, Tabitha Tuders. I put these answers, or I write down a sequence of questions, and my spirit guides give me direct answers for the questions that I ask. In the end, in conclusion, I will ask my spirit guides if there are any more messages that I need to share with you all, and we will go from there. Okay, so this reading is as follows. Number one, I asked, did Tabitha leave the house the day of her disappearance? My spirit guides give me a direct answer of yes. I asked, number two, did Tabitha actually make it to her bus stop? My spirit guides give me a direct answer of yes. I asked, did Tabitha run away from home? My spirit guides tell me no, she did not run away from home. It was not her intention to leave. It was not her intention to just take off, leave home, never come back, that type of thing. I asked my spirit guides, did Tabitha's sister see her leave the house that morning? My spirit guides tell me no. Her sister Jamie did not see her that morning before she left home at all. There was some information there was something like a letter or a note or something that was found in Tabitha's room after the fact. When they were searching for her, it was something in her room that had the initials MTL on it, and nobody knew who this who this person was or anything. So I asked my spirit guides on number 5, who was the person with the MTL initials Who is this person to Tabitha? My spirit guides tell me a friend. So this friend could be somebody that she went to school with. This is a person that she knows. Somebody that was like a friend or something like that is what my spirit guides are telling me. Number 6, I asked my spirit guides, did Tabitha's sister do anything to harm her in any way? My spirit guides tell me no. So Tabitha's sister Jamie did not see Tabitha that morning before she left home, and she did not do anything to Tabitha that day before she left home, or that would keep her from leaving home. On number 7, I asked my spirit guides, is Tabitha still alive? Sadly, my spirit guides tell me no. Tabitha Tuders is no longer alive. And my spirit guides tell me that she wasn't alive very long after she went missing. There was like there was a short time frame basically from the time. It wasn't days, it wasn't weeks, it was a month. Like, she was killed on that day. Number 8, I asked my spirit guides, did Tabitha meet someone that morning? My spirit guides tell me yes. She in fact met someone that morning. And I'll tell you the reason why I believe she met this person, or, the chain of events that happened and went on that day. Well, I'll just go ahead and tell you. I really kind of believe that that Tabitha may have left the house too late. Either her bus ran early, or she was running late that day, and I believe she missed the bus. I believe she made it all the way to her bus stop, and missed the bus, and probably was on her way getting ready to walk back home because she missed the bus when she was approached by someone, when she met this someone. Okay? So I asked my spirit guides on number 8, did Tabitha meet someone that morning? My spirit guides tell me yes. Number 9, did Tabitha get in a stranger's car that morning? My spirit guides tell me yes. Number 10, did Tabitha leave with someone she knew? My spirit guides tell me no. Number 11, I asked my spirit guides, did a sex offender take Tabitha? My spirit guides tell me yes, give me a direct answer of yes. And not only is this person a sex offender, but this person lived in their area. Like, he lived in the same area, the same neighborhood that Tabitha lived in. I asked my spirit guides, was Tabitha sex trafficked? I got a direct answer of no. This is how I know that, she was abducted, she was attacked in a certain way, and she was killed thereafter, but she wasn't trafficked. Like, she wasn't taken out of the state. She wasn't, sold to some sex ring or something like that. That's what trafficked means. Tabitha was not trafficked. I asked my spirit guides on number 13, is the person Tabitha left with a man? My spirit guides tell me yes. This person that approached her was a stranger. This same person is the person that she met that morning, and this person was a sex offender. But this person is a man that she met that morning, okay? I asked my spirit guides on number 14, did Tabitha leave in a red car? My spirit guides tell me yes. The person that Tabitha left with was a man, and this man was in a red vehicle. You remember when I told you, I believe either Tabitha's bus ran early or Tabitha was running late to the bus, but she missed the bus somehow. Whether her bus ran early or whether she was running late, she missed the bus somehow. I believe she was on her way walking back home when this person approached her. I believe this person offered her a ride, to school, because Tabitha was so sweet and things like that, but she knew better. She wouldn't hop. She wouldn't be the type to just like hop in the car with a stranger or something. this person lived in the neighborhood and different things like that. I believe this person came off as nice, as sweet, as older. You know, I believe this person, she got in the vehicle with this person on the pretense that they were going to take her to school. Okay, number 15. Let me make sure. Number 15, I asked my spirit guides, was the person in the red car a black man? My spirit guides tell me yes. The person that was in that red car that stopped, that pulled over to talk to Tabitha, that Tabitha got in the vehicle with, was an African American man. Okay? And I've already told you, this man lived in the area. He lived in the neighborhood. This man also was a convicted sex offender as well. And he drove a red car. He drove a red vehicle of some kind, and that's who approached Tabitha. I asked my spirit guides, did the young boy that reported seeing Tabitha get in a red car tell the truth? If you notice, these last few questions that I just asked was clearly things that this young boy told the police that they completely ignored. They said that he was incredible. They said that he was not a reliable witness, and that boy was telling the truth. And they did not even look into it. They did not even follow up on it at all. The boy was telling the truth. She, in fact, left with a man in a red vehicle and was never seen or heard from again. And the police didn't even look into it. And they also had said that they did make an account that there was a lot of sex offenders that stayed in the area in which Tabitha Tuders and her family lived in. They claimed that they spoke to neighbors and different neighbors, but they didn't speak to everybody. And they did not speak to all the sex offenders in that area, because if they had, they would have spoke to this guy. Or if they did speak to him, maybe he didn't give them a reason to make them suspicious or something like that. But I don't really feel like they spoke to him or whatever. But that boy was telling the truth, okay? I asked my spirit guides on number 17, is the person that Tabitha got in the red car with also the person who killed her? My spirit guides told me yes. Number 18, I asked my spirit guides, is Tabitha's body buried somewhere? My spirit guides told me yes. Number 19, I asked my spirit guides, is Tabitha buried in a park? My spirit guides tell me yes. My spirit guides also tell me Tabitha is buried in a park. It is a park that's close by her home. The Most High is telling me that it's like a mile away east from where they lived at the time. There's a park that is about a mile away east from where they lived at the time, and Tabitha is buried there. Y'all excuse this late. Number 19, I asked my spirit guides, is Tabitha, or I'm sorry, I already did that one. Is Tabitha buried in the park? I told you yes. But she is close by home. It's about 1 mile away east, okay? Number 20, do the guy that killed Tabitha still live in the neighborhood? My spirit guides tell me that he does not live in the neighborhood anymore. After all, this did happen in 2003. It's 2021 now. And I'm doing this reading. So my spirit guides tell me that he no longer lives in the area, but he did at the time of the abduction. He lived in that neighborhood at the time of the abduction. And I'm going to tell you how close in a minute. Number 21, I asked my spirit guides, did the guy that abducted and killed Tabitha live on the same street as she at the time of her disappearance? My spirit guides told me yes. Not only did this guy live in the area, live in the neighborhood, he lived on the same street as she did. I know the family, a neighbor, somebody know of another neighbor that they had that drove a red vehicle that was an African American man. Okay? You can pen that down even to some, I mean, like, you should literally be able to narrow that down to exactly who that is. I'm telling you, the police officers, they didn't even try. They did not even try. Number 22, I asked my spirit guides, is the guy that killed Tabitha still alive? My spirit guides told me yes. This man, as of 2021, is still alive. Number 23, I asked my spirit guides, has the guy that killed Tabitha been in jail or prison before? This is how I know he's a convicted sex offender. Because you remember when I asked, was the person that took her a sex offender? And my spirit guides told me yes. I asked here, you see how I asked different questions, but I worded different to see if I'm getting the correct answers. My spirit guides told me yes, this man has been in jail and or prison before, which means, and my spirit guides tell me fingerprints are in the system's database. They have this man's DNA. They have this man's fingerprints. He is a registered sex offender, which means he committed some other crime before that he was charged with before, molestation or rape cases or whatever he has done. Jail time, he has done prison time. They have his DNA. His fingerprints are in the system. And if he's a registered sex offender, they should have a record of all the registered sex offenders that lived in that area on that time. I'm telling you, this individual lived in the area, lived in the neighborhood, and lived on the same street as Tabitha Tuders. You should easily be able to narrow that down. Number 24, I asked my spirit guides, what is the age of the guy that killed Tabitha? My spirit guides are telling me that he's older than 40, but he's not older than 50. I believe this is the age he was at the time that he abducted Tabitha. My spirit guides are telling me that he was older than 40, but not older than 50, which means he was somewhere between 40 and 50 years old at the time. Okay, number 25. I asked my spirit guides, did the man that killed Tabitha rape and kill other individuals as well? My spirit guides tell me yes. Well, yes, of course. He had been convicted of, if he's a registered sex offender, he had been convicted of molestation, of rape, or something of someone else before. Had he been apprehended for murder before? I don't know, but my spirit guides are telling me that he has raped and killed before. Number 26, I asked my spirit guides, is Tabitha's killer still alive? I got a answer of yes. I thought I asked that already. Oh, I did. Sorry, I asked that question twice. So yeah, I asked, is Tabitha's killer still alive? I got a yes. Okay. Number 27, I asked my spirit guides, does Tabitha's killer still live in Nashville? My spirit guides tell me yes, he no longer lives in that neighborhood anymore, but he does still live in Nashville. I asked my spirit guides on number 28, what happened to Tabitha? Like I said, my spirit guides, the Most High is telling me that there was some kind of situation. Like I said, either her bus came early or Tabitha was running late. Either way, she missed the bus. I don't know if on her way, I believe on her way back home, this person stopped and to talk to her and offered her a ride. Tabitha got in this vehicle under the pretense that this person was going to take her to school. When I asked my spirit guides what happened to Tabitha, Tabitha was abducted, she was raped, she was strangled, and she was buried. This is what the Most High is telling me happened to Tabitha. This all happened in the same day that she was taken. So that baby didn't have a fighting chance with this guy. Number 29. I asked my spirit guides, did Tabitha willingly get in the car with the killer? My spirit guides told me yes. This is how I know she willingly got in that vehicle with the person because he was going to take her to school, which is my next question, number 30. I asked my spirit guides, did Tabitha get in the car for a ride to school? My spirit guides tell me yes. That baby had missed the bus. She was trying to get to school. This person came off sweet and nice. This was an older guy. So she probably thought that, this person wouldn't harm her. He's going to give her a ride to school. She didn't know him personally, so thus he was still a stranger. But I believe she had even seen him in the neighborhood before, on the street before, to even feel comfortable enough to get in the vehicle with him. Just think about that, like one of your next door neighbors. And say, your car breaks down, or you don't have a ride or something, and you got to get somewhere in a hurry one day, and your neighbor offered to give you a ride. You probably would accept it before you accept it from somebody that you've never even seen before, somebody that you don't even know before. She didn't know this man personally, but she had seen him in the neighborhood before. She knew that he lived in the neighborhood, and so she accepted this ride from him. This is the reason why she got in that car. She let her guards down for a minute, and she trusted this man to get her to school. But she had no idea his background. She had no idea what this guy was going to do to her. I asked my spirit guides, did he take her back to his house? And my spirit guides told me no. He raped and strangled her elsewhere. He took her somewhere else. He never took her back to the house, back to his house, because like I said, he lived in the same neighborhood. So that would have been very risky for him to take her, back to his house and go dragging her out the car in his house. And then, when he got ready to dispose of her body, drag her back to his car to drive her somewhere else. He took her somewhere else and did these things to her. I asked my spirit guides, did Tabitha try to get out of the car when she noticed that the person wasn't taking her to school? My spirit guides tell me yes. This baby became hysterical. She was trying to get out the car. She was trying to run away. She was trying to get away from this person. Somehow he was able to control her, to subdue her, or something to keep her from running off or getting out. But she struggled. She tried to fight back. She tried to get out the vehicle. Maybe once they got to driving and he made a few wrong turns and she realized that this fool wasn't taking her to school, she panicked and she tried to jump out the car. But he kept her from doing so. Okay. Number 32, I asked my spirit guides, where did the abductor rape and kill Tabitha? My spirit guides tell me that this happened at the park as well. Remember, I asked you where Tabitha had been buried. Tabitha was buried in a park. He buried her in a park. This is the same park so the same place that he raped her and he killed her, he buried her at this same park. My spirit guides are also telling me that this park, the park, like I said, the park that he raped and killed her at is the same park that he buried her at. My spirit guides also tell me that the park that Tabitha is buried at, I asked them some specific questions, but like I told you, this park is 1 mile east from where they lived at the time. Not only that, but this park, it's by a bridge. My spirit guides are telling me that it's by a bridge. But I specifically asked, was there a body of water around? I gotta know. I specifically asked, was it in a wooded area? I gotta know. This is a open park. It has a big, a lot of land, a big field, but it's by a bridge. A bridge is close by. It's not that far from where they lived. It's only about a mile away, but it's a mile away east from where they live. And my spirit guides also tell me that Tabitha's killer had tools in his vehicle, because I wanted to know how in the world, like, it's one thing for you to rape and kill somebody, but like if she was buried, what in the hell did, how did he, and so I asked my spirit guides, I'm like, is she actually buried, or did he just cover her up with, leaves and tree stems, or something like that? And my spirit guides tell me no, she's actually buried. My spirit guides tell me that he actually had tools, certain tools in his vehicle that he used to dig up her grave to throw her in. So this guy, he had like shovels and stuff like that in his trunk and stuff that he used to dig this baby's grave and threw her in. So hold on just one moment, guys. Let me fix this. Hold on just a moment. Okay, I do apologize about that, you all. I asked my spirit guides what was anybody else around or anybody else at the park when Tabitha was killed. My spirit guides tell me no. There was nobody else around, nobody else at the park, nobody else that could have seen anything that happened. And I asked, was Tabitha killed in that morning? Was she killed in the morning? And the Most High told me yes. So this is the reason why nobody else was out yet. Nobody else was at the park. You know, that early in the morning, most people are commuting to go to work or to go to school. Like, you have very few people who may get up early and say go to the park for, I don't know, some sun, a walk or jog or something like that. But it was like earlier in the morning, so like nobody was at this park. So this is how he was able to take her out there, assault her, kill her, and essentially bury her out here in this park. I asked my spirit guides, did the person who killed Tabitha talk to the detectives when they were, supposedly doing their investigation, when they supposedly went around talking to neighbors and all kinds of people? My spirit guides tell me no. This person never talked to the detectives at all. But I feel like they totally botched this case. Like they totally botched this case. They really did, because like they had the information they need to track this person down, and they literally did nothing. This guy lived in the neighborhood on their same street. You had a eyewitness who told you the vehicle that this little girl got in, okay? And gave you a description of what the driver looked like and everything. Told you about what time of day it was and everything. And you literally totally disregarded this boy and what he had to say. And like now it's been like what, 17 plus years that Tabitha has been missing. Her family hasn't had any closure or anything. They haven't been able to have a proper burial for their daughter or anything, because, for years, y'all made it seem like Tabitha was just some delinquent runaway. It's crazy. Well, that concludes the reading, you all, for Tabitha Tuders. Hold on just a minute. I'm going to show you something. This is Tabitha, everybody. This is what this young lady looked like at the time of her disappearance. I just wanted to give you all a brief image of this young lady. She was 13 years old when she went missing. Okay. And here's some other little brief information that they had on her. They were like very vague with the details. The other one is like an age progression photo of her. And the first one is how she looked at the time of her disappearance. And the other one is an age progression photo of her. So as always, I hope this information gets to the right people, and they are able to find her, at least to give her family some closure. I do want to say that I deeply apologize for the family's loss of their child. And so, like I said, this was the case of Tabitha Tuders. As I always tell you all, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, but most of all, take care of your babies. And until the next time, peace, love, and light. Namaste.